All right. Very good. All right. So for all the brides that are watching this today, I am here with Nicki from Chic Concepts. She's going to be explaining her services. I usually let our wedding professionals do all the talking. I just ask the questions. But before we jump in, I just want to remind you that you're watching The Best Advice. I created this about a week and a half ago. This has been a concept that I've been working on for about 3 years, and I finally put it together. The reason for The Best Advice is because us as wedding professionals, we always want to give advice to our brides. We want to educate them a little bit about our services. And I think this is a great place to bring it all together. On a wedding, as we know, there's a lot of vendors that come together to plan a wedding. Sometimes there's 10, sometimes there's 20, sometimes there's 30 vendors that come together to plan the right wedding. And this is the reason why I put The Best Advice. So guys, this is the best advice. Let me just put my little best advice window here, graphic. and this is, like I said, this is the best advice where you get all your advice or ideas, trends, and all that good stuff for your wedding planning. This is live. We are live here today. Now I'm going to jump back to our let me cancel this. I'm going to jump back to Nicki. I'm sorry. This is Nicki from Chic Concepts. Nicki, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, how are y'all? Good morning slash afternoon. Hope y'all are having lunch or drinking a mimosa if you're at home. Thank you so much for chatting with me. My name's Nicolette. I'm the co-owner of Chic Concepts Event Planning and Interior Design, along with my mother, Janina. And we're so excited and thrilled and honored to be sitting here with you and answering any questions you may have, or share some of our experiences and our journey with you. So thanks so much for taking the time to listen, and we hope that you learned something and that you feel a little bit better and more confident about your wedding planning when you leave this interview.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicki.
Yeah.
Before we go on, I just want to say that I got a chance to work with Nicki and her mom, Gina. These two are awesome professionals. They started.
Thank you.
How many years ago, Nicki? About 5, 6 years ago?
No, actually, no. January will be 9 years.
9 years. Very
yeah.
good. And,
yeah.
I'm new to the San Antonio area, but I hear your name a lot, pop up a lot. Just so you know, it's always
thank you.
in the wedding industry.
It's
always coming up, and it's always good things.
Thank you.
It's always lots of raves from brides, from other vendors, which is really, really cool. So good job.
That.
Good job.
Thank you.
And yeah, my hat's off to you and your mom.
Thank you.
So Nicki, I'm going to jump into the questions here. I'm also going to load up your website as we go. The first question that I have for you, Nicki.
Sure. Thank you.
I'd like for you to tell us about your wedding business. Tell us a little bit about Chic Concepts, please.
Sure. So Chic Concepts, started in 2011. So January will be 9 years. And we are a full service event design and planning firm. We're mostly known for our event design and floral design. If you kind of see that homepage that you're sharing, David, I love that. That says Uniting Families Through Wedding Planning. That was kind of, that's really something that we feel very strongly about. As we are a family business. It's me and my mom. We understand that weddings are beautiful and they're fun and all the flowers and all the cool things of it, that, the food and the alcohol, the dancing, the ambiance, all that makes, a wedding fabulous. But for us, ultimately, we understand that really a wedding is about uniting two families and becoming one. And so when we meet with our clients, we really try to take the initiative and the time to understand them, understand why, how they got together, what they like to do for fun, what ultimately is their goal for their wedding in communicating themselves as a couple to their guests and to their families through this union and through this party. And so that's really what I think we're about. We enjoy the fun of it and creating all the jazz of it and everything. But ultimately, we're in a service business. We're here to serve. We're in a people business. We're here to understand people, connect people. And we're in the party business. So we're here to have a good time. But again, all of that, all the flowers, all the work, it would be nothing, and it means nothing without the clients behind it, without the families behind it. And that's ultimately, I think, what drives us and what's the most important thing for us. Not only we're a family business, but we're a small business. And so, we're what I believe small business is the backbone of America. And so we really try to, we're sharing parts of ourselves, our talent, but we're sharing parts of our family with you too.
Yeah,
and
it's
so we're
personal.
it's very personal.
Also,
exactly. And so we're very appreciative when our clients trust us into their homes, into their events, whatever that may be. We're very appreciative of that.
Nicki, so I just jumped into your floral design.
Thank you.
You do floral design. You're a wedding consultant and also do corporate events, right?
Yes.
And so these are some of the images here, guys, that I just pulled up. So you can see yourself. These are amazing centerpieces, flowers. This is really, really cool. And I've seen your work hands-on. I mean, I've seen it for myself. It's beautiful. You guys do amazing work. I'm just going to click on some other. This is event.
Yeah, so that's our event design page. So that tends to be, whereas the floral design tends to focus more on the centerpieces or maybe kind of more of a, just florals. The event design encompasses so much more, lighting, linen texture, the room, the architecture of the space. So, we've had to do more room shots because there's a lot more, it's more than just the tablescape. It's the full on, space that we create.
So tell me, so Nicki, it's you and your mom. You guys are the dynamic duo.
But with an amazing, incredible team. I mean, it's not just us. Yeah, but
you guys, it's you and your mom that run the business, and then you have the team that that works with you guys. So how does this work, Nicki? So who's the designer here, and who's the consultant, or how does that work? Do you guys?
That's a great question. So, not going to go too much in background, but just a quick, Janina's background is in interior design. She's a certified interior designer. So fantastic. Her background actually many years ago, probably 15, 20 years ago, was doing homes, and she still does homes. And we're actually starting to branch out back into that segue of the business, which we're really excited about. But Gina is the designer, and I'm the consultant and the what I would like to call the customer liaison. Okay. Right. I tend to be with the client, sitting with them, listening to their vision. I like to think that I'm really good at kind of sitting and I'm taking parts of everybody and writing it all down on paper. And then Gina and I will collaborate together along with our team. Thomas is one of our floral designers, our production manager, Sherry, our production assistant, Irene, and we kind of all sit together and create the concept for the client. Now, each client is different. Each client's needs are different. So some clients, they want pretty florals, but they don't really care about having this huge, over the top kind of concept. In that case, if you're just kind of wanting to do simple florals, absolutely, we can do that. And we love that. If you're wanting, kind of something from scratch where you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what colors to choose, what statement piece I want. That's where Gina really shines, because we really get to take something from nothing and create that. And so it just depends on what the client wants. And so we're able to serve their needs that way.
Very good. I was also reading your website, and I came across your About Us, and I saw that you like to listen to music.
I'm always listening to music. It's
Does
so
this
funny.
help you inspire you and your mom?
I think so. Like, for me, music is the only, I can't play an instrument. I can't play an instrument. I can't sing a freaking tune, but I love music. I love to listen to every music. So for me, I think I like to hear like if clients are really into music, I kind of want to hear what kind of music they're into or what their hobbies are. It's not so much, I don't know if it necessarily inspires me in art, but I think tells me a lot about a person and kind of what they're into. If they're like, I really like something that's really not off the charts, and I know that they're going to be a more unique client, and they're not necessarily going to want something that everybody else has. And I like music for the same reason that I like to sit down and listen to my clients about, what they are and who they do. I think that music tells stories of people's lives. And I think that's what, I'm thankful to be a part of for just one day. And so kind of that's, where we're at.
I like your whole concept, or I like the way you think that you're really in tune with your clients. I like how, it's all about them. And I really like that.
We try to be,
So you make it personal, but it's about your clients at the end of the day. So
it really is.
Oh, I like that. From your website to what you're saying. I
thank you about that. Yeah. And I kind of feel like, everybody here in this business has something to offer. Everybody is talented in their own way.
Right.
But ultimately, I can sit here and tell you how great I am 20 different days and 20 different times. And think, but at the end of the day, me being great or whatever has no necessary reflection about you standing there as a couple.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like I'm here with part of you for just a second. You're here to start this journey for the rest of your life. So I kind of feel like that's why I like to talk more. It's more about them. I'm just here to help
put it together.
Put it together. Yeah.
Put their vision together. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So I'm going to jump into the next question, which you already answered a lot of this. It says, when did you establish your business? You said 9 years ago, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And how long have you been in this profession?
So
started beforehand, right?
Right. And then I actually got into like doing events when I was 18.
Wow.
I started in high school. Yeah. So I really do believe teachers make, the world go around. My teacher was really, I started in student council, and she was just incredible. Her name was Tina Platt. And she kind of just allowed us to do what we wanted to do. And with that, I was able to kind of take over things that I thought, oh, we could do this and we could do this. And I was like, oh, this is fun. I kind of like this. And so from there, that's when I got my degree at Texas State in PR. And I did some internships along the way. But that's, how it started. When the economy crashed in 2009, I think it was, right? That was when I graduated college. Yeah, 2008, but I graduated in 2009. Nobody was hiring. So I thought, I'm going to work. I thought I had big dreams. I'm going to work for the Spurs. But nobody was hiring. There was nothing. And so my personality is, and it's a good thing, is I'm not a very patient person. When I'm ready to do something, I'm going to do it. And so I thought, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I thought it was going to be later in life, but I thought, Mom, I need a designer. Let's just get this. And we started it, and kind of really got the ball rolling. As soon as the idea started to move in 2010, and things kind of started, but I think 2011 is when we really just took off. We just started going.
Very good. Awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. So, Nicki, tell me, I think I know a lot of this, but I'm going to let you explain it, and I want you to tell me, what makes you different, Nicki, from other professionals that offer the same type of service that you do? What is it that makes you stand out from the rest, I guess I could say?
That's a great question. So the one thing I think that makes us a little bit different is we are a full service firm, and we're not just a full service firm in the way that I think that we offer all these things because we can offer them. We really have two talented individuals plus an incredible team. There's me who handles all the planning and the logistics and the kind of the customer relations with my awesome team. And then you have Gina, who forefronts she's what I would like really call an artist with her design team. So instead of just two people running a business, you have two people who really focus in on the planning and the design aspects and who are really good at it. And kind of stay in that lane. You'll never see me offering food because you don't want me cooking for you. But I've tasted enough food, and I'm happy to get you in with the right individuals.
All right.
And the other thing that makes us different is that, there is no other Nicolette Marie Orozco in the world. There's only one. Right.
Yes.
And
very well said.
there's only one. There's only one of me, and there's only one of Janina. And that's what makes us, so all of us in this business, unique, because there's only one of us. So the one thing about me, and I've always said, I'm never going to try to be something I'm not for someone else.
Mm.
I am who I am, and love me, hate me. I'm usually not hated, but what I'm trying to say is that my clients, I feel that I always tell them the first thing is you have to have a relationship, and you understand that as a photographer,
Yes.
you're in their face. You have to feel a kinship.
All day
right?
long. Yeah, you have to connect.
Exactly.
Feel their
Exactly.
energy and all that good stuff. Yes.
And the same thing is when I'm planning a wedding, when we're designing something, we have to feel we have to feel a connection to each other in some way. And it could be that, yeah, maybe maybe somebody else's design aesthetic felt kind of the same, but you know what, when they sat with me, they just felt a kinship to me that they didn't feel with someone else. And I believe that, and that's why all of us have friends, is there's certain kinships in this world that we connect with. So having said that, there's only one of us, there's only one of me. So when you're meeting with me and you choose Chic Concepts, you know who you're getting.
Right.
And so that's kind of why I
not only that, but I think you guys have your own signature, and of doing things in your own, in your own way, the way you design your floral and you do things, and I think that always works for you guys, because it's like you have your own niche, people follow,
right.
People are always seeing your work, and
thank you.
You have a certain way of doing things, and I've seen it myself. Like I said, the last photo shoot we had, and they look, your mom as being an artist and you as a coordinator, planner, consultant, you bring it all together. You guys,
right.
I think you guys make the perfect dynamic duo. You guys are Batman and Robin. You guys get it done. You're great with public relations.
Oh, thank you.
You're very good, and your mom is just the artist.
Yes, true artist. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. So, Nicki, here we go. Moving along in our, let's see. So what advice would you give our brides for the service that you offer? What advice can you give our brides here today?
For just specifically our service, or just kind of in general?
Well, in your service, when looking for your service. So what advice would you give?
Sure. So the first thing is I would, it's really important. Everyone is very afraid of the word budget. And I think that, I don't know why we're scared of it. It's not a scary word. It's not a bad word. It's a good word. And I think I understand it in a different way, as me being a bride now.
Congratulations, by the
budget. Way. Thank you. We all have a budget. So I think that one thing is to really establish your budget, and establish and be okay with the fact that either one, you may have to increase your budget to get exactly as you want, for what you want, or two, be willing to compromise in what you want a little bit so that you can keep your budget. I think that's the first thing, and be honest about it with whoever you're sitting down with. I think that's really important. When you're talking about florals, say, look, this is my budget. What do you think? A lot of times brides are saying, oh my gosh, I want peonies everywhere. And I'm like, well, that's great, but a peony is $18 a stem. Mm-hmm. So do you really want the peony? Maybe we only put it in your bouquet or the bridesmaids bouquets. Let's talk about this. And it's the most photographed thing in your wedding. So, let's go all out there. In the centerpieces, maybe it doesn't matter. So those are things to think about and talk about. That's important. In the real, we would love to say, oh, I don't have a budget, I can do whatever. But we all live in the real world, and we know that's not true for everybody. That's the first thing. And discuss with your florist, hey, what is your minimum? What do clients normally spend with you? Because, there's nothing more heartbreaking when you have all these ideas and then you sit down and for whatever reason, that florist or whoever that person serving is not in that budget frame. Okay. Right. That's really important. The other thing is, I think, when you're with, when you're hiring us, I'm always saying, come with your ideas, come with your style, but don't necessarily feel like attached to it to where you're not going to allow any creativity to come in. Mm-hmm. Because I always find that sometimes when my clients are like, this is kind of what I'm thinking, but you know what? Honestly, just do what you want. Those tend to be like the most beautiful weddings. They explain what their style is, but they let you kind of run free. That it is one thing, is when you're coming to a table with us, Pinterest is great. All these things are great. But remember, when you're sitting, especially when you're sitting with us, you're sitting here with a room of people who are creators, people who are artists, right? And one of the things
to the professionals, yeah.
Exactly. Let us do our thing. Don't come in something so tight, because you might miss out on something that could have just been like phenomenal. And it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be crazy budget. We could have created something within. So I think that's something that I always say, when you're coming with us, to think about that kind of stuff.
Now,
sure.
I don't know a whole lot about the design aspect of the wedding. But I take it, do you guys do some kind of a sketching, kind of like bride comes in with a vision?
Right. Yes.
Sketch it out, talk.
Definitely.
Like
We sit and do complimentary consultations. And so those are always complimentary. We don't charge you for that. And that's just to sit and listen and create something based on everything that we talked about. We create an itemized proposal for you. If we don't have pictures, and that is in concept of the work, we provide pictures. When there's something like a full scale design, we do sketches. We do sit and do concept work, pick out textiles, linens, see the chairs, the lighting, whatever we need to do. And so all of that kind of encompasses and is able to be created for you. And we do that on the proposal. And that's a lot of fun.
Awesome. So the next question you already answered. I'm asking. I was going to ask you, discuss some of the services that you offer. I think you covered that pretty much. I mean, is there anything else that we're leaving out? I know that you do, besides weddings, corporate events, you do, event design, floral design, you're a consultant also for, not only weddings, but also corporate as well. And you're a full service wedding planner as well, right? So,
yes. The only service that we don't, and it doesn't necessarily pertain to weddings, but we do have done some past brides, is we now are offering, using Gina's creativity and her experience and her education, we're going to start doing interior design again, really getting into that. So we're really excited about that.
Very, very cool. Awesome. So I think we pretty much covered everything, Nicki. Last question I have for you.
Sure.
I'm a bride. I want to book you. How far in advance do I need to book you? One, and second, where can I find you? Where can I find?
Great question. So you can find us on The Knot, Wedding Wire, San Antonio Weddings Magazine, The Wedding Guide, Facebook, and Instagram. We're on all those mediums of advertising, of course, and we're also on a lot of venue lists in the Hill Country, Bernie, New Braunfels, San Antonio. How you had said earlier, you hear our name, we're very thankful. We're on a lot of venue referrals, and so we're really grateful for that. And
what's your website?
Second part of it. Oh, chicconceptstx.com. www.chicconceptstx.com. And I forgot the second part of the question.
It's okay. How far in advance can I book you?
Good question. So if you're looking for wedding planning services, you really want to book out about a year to a year and a half advance. I have definitely planned weddings in 3 weeks. I have done it. I have planned weddings in 6 months, but it's not so much about that what we can't do. It's more, remember, venues book up really, really fast. Other vendors book up fast. So you're limiting your pool into who you can hire you can have. The other thing for floral design, we say usually anywhere between, I think, 6 to 9 months is pretty standard. Some clients do go up to 12 months out, but we can't do your floral proposal until you have your venue. That's the most important thing, because that's the architecture of the space. So we can't design something, if you're in a huge ballroom and then you decide, I went to an outside bar, and you're looking at a whole other, concept and space and feel of the event. So
you mentioned, one last question here. So you mentioned that you are in different surrounding cities in San Antonio. And I'm reaching out to all the brides, not only in San Antonio, but all over Texas. So can you tell us, how far are you willing to travel
Oh,
or do you
we
travel
just did a
too?
wedding. We do. We just did a
New
wedding
York.
in November called Cielo Lindo Ranch, a gorgeous venue over there, kind of like 20 minutes from Corpus Christi. So we'll definitely fall out there. We've been to Houston before. We've gone to Austin. We will definitely go to the Valley. It's like only like a 2-hour drive, right, from San Antonio, I think. So we will definitely travel. If you want us and you like what we do, we'll be happy to serve you anywhere. Road trip.
Road trip. There's Chic Concepts, guys, right there. This is their website, Chic Concepts, tx.com. Brides, if you're interested in hiring a food service wedding planner, designer also. She's amazing. Have had the opportunity to work with her and her mom. They're both very, very good at what they do. Like I said, you can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Instagram. You can find them on Twitter, correct, as well? And you can,
I think so. Yeah, I'm
somewhere.
not cool. I'm not hip anymore. Maybe when I was in college, I kept up, and then I just like got off
Instagram.
the train. Yeah, I am on Instagram. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, there you go, guys.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much for coming on, Nicki, and I'm so glad that you were able to give us some awesome advice here at the Best Advice Wedding Talk. For other brides that are watching this today, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube,
definitely,
also on Instagram, and we are also working on a website. So you guys will be able to go on the website. I'm building a directory of all the vendors that are coming on here. And again, guys, this is the Best Advice. Nicki, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And if I could just say one thing.
Sure.
I know that he did not ask me to do this, but I will say, guys, photography is something that is such an important medium, and it's so important because who cares? You spend all this money on your floor. We create this beautiful thing for you. But guess what? If your pictures suck, you're going to be really upset. And I've had firsthand experience of that. I had a quinceañera and like my photographer was awful. And I think we had maybe 1 or 2 pictures of my great grandfather. And that was the last event he could attend. So you really want to make sure that you invest in that. You really want to make sure that you hire somebody. And in this case, David's fantastic. I've seen his work. Beautiful, beautiful. Editorial and architecture and artistic shots, but you really want to make sure that you care about that stuff, because at the end of the day, when you're old in your bed and your kids are growing up, you want to look back on those pictures and you want to look back on those memories, because time goes fast and that's the only thing that can stay still. So
thank you. Well, brides, you heard her from consultant.
Somebody knows what she's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, you heard from the professional. But well, thank you, Nicki. That's
you're so welcome.
Bonus footage.
But I mean it from the bottom of my truly. I always tell my brides that you got to hire a good photographer. So thank you.
I am excited. I'm looking forward to working with you. By the way,
thank you. Ditto.
I know that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for us to come together and do something.
Can't wait.
As you guys know, I am new to San Antonio, and I'm excited. I'm always thinking of what's the next thing I need to do. What can I photograph? The next wedding, all that good stuff. And you're right. I mean, I think not just because I'm a wedding photographer, but I feel very privileged to be a wedding photographer in the sense that the photographs that I present them, this is what they're going to have for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? And, like you mentioned, you do all this planning, to bring it together. You have beautiful centerpieces that they get from you from you got the classic car, you got, the dress, the rings, all that. You need somebody to really document that and to do it right. In today's world, there's a lot of photographers, but that's a whole different story and a whole different interview. But anyways, I just wanted to say that, you're right. I mean, photography is one of the most important things that I think they should consider always.
Absolutely.
You just said, your experience as a quinceañera. I mean, you saw it yourself. I mean.
Oh yeah. So I've lived it. Don't make my mistake.
Right.
Learn from others, for sure.
Awesome. Well, Nicki, thank you again.
Thank you.
It. Thank you for your
time. Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming on here. This will be shared on, like I said, YouTube, guys. Instagram, here on Facebook. It's live right now. So
Awesome. Bye, y'all.
take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.